Hello, my friends. I hope you are fine. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. مرحبا بكم معنا في فيديو جديد من فيديوهات قناتنا قناة الأساتذة الجزائريين. Today lesson is about how to teach directions. I mean for 2MS and 3MS, those teachers who are teaching 2MS and 3MS, and some of the new teachers, and always my not always but usually my videos and my lessons are for those who are novice and for those who are in their first year teaching or working as teachers. So I really want to help you because in my first year I find a lot of problems when writing a lesson plan or when dealing with pupils and dealing with lessons. Okay, so today lesson I said is about how to teach direction. Now, if it is your first time watching this channel, don't forget to subscribe and to make a like for the video, and of course share it with your friends so they can benefit from this video or this lesson. Now, how to teach direction for the third time, I'm repeating it. So directions can be challenging to teach, however its practical uses are readily understood but students, and there are many fun activities you can incorporate into your lesson to make them more enjoyable. Typically, the first directions lesson would follow lessons including vocabulary such as post office, police station, school, bank, playground, park, library, etc. Since these will be used extensively in directions lesson. I'm sorry. Now, how to proceed your lesson, how to start your interesting lesson. So we've got the warming up of directions. Okay, how to or what to do in the warming up. Now, the first thing, you get your students interested in learning how to give directions. Okay, you get your students interested in learning how to give directions. On the board, draw a rough map, okay, of a neighborhood, just a few streets and the school. Also the school will do, okay, as where is the school. Have a student come to the board and point it out. Okay, you draw a map, for example, school, bank, police station, and you ask your pupil. Of course he's not going to say it is right or left, or because it's his first time knowing that. So you ask one of them and ask him to point it on the board, okay, or on the map, on the rough map. Then I said I'm sorry again. Then ask where a few other landmarks are and have students draw and label them on your map. Sorry. Now the next step, what do? You introduce the words. Which word or which or what words? We've got right and left. Just use right and left. Why I'm doing this with you? You've seen that in perfect I say go from regular to irregular. In superlative and comparative, from regular to, always you should go from the simple one, the easiest one, to the next one. Okay, don't mix things for your pupils. Don't give them everything in once. Okay, try to divide your lesson into parts so your pupil and your learner can let's say can acquire what you are giving him. Okay, so I said introduce the words right and left. Okay, try to elicit the meaning or translation of these words from the students and write them on the board with arrows. You've got arrows demonstrating, okay, right, left, okay. And each, I repeat again, I said, try to elicit the meaning or translation of these words from the students and write them on the board with arrows demonstrating each direction. Okay? Now, once their meanings have been made clear to the class, demonstrate proper pronunciation. It may be fun to teach your students these little trick to remember right and left. Okay. Now, if you hold your arms out in front of you, uh, flex your wrist up and extend just your thumb and index fingers on both hands. Okay, the left hand with have a capital L for left. Okay, so you should use your hand, your wrist. For example, you do like this, left, or like this, right. Okay, you use your hands so you can show them. You ask them, for example, when you say right, they should do like this. When you say left, they should do like this. Okay, I hope it's clear for you. Now, the next step, what is the next step? It is practice. Okay, practice, which is the most important for me. I don't know whether it is important for you or no, but for me it is the most important step. Now here, what do? You ask student to do some choral repetition. For example, call on a student to model pronunciation in order to check their progress on the individual level and do some quick comprehension tests. Okay, for example, ask student to turn right, and you see whether he turn right or turn left, whether he understand what is right and what is left, whether the word right stick in his mind or not. Okay, now you say to him, turn right, turn left, with a demonstration, of course, with a demonstration. And after a few individual checks, feel free to have the whole class join in making sure they are listening to the word right and left, and not just turning from side to side by occasionally instructing them to turn left or turn left, turn right, which should end up with everyone facing the back of the classroom. Now, anyone who isn't facing the correct direction needs to focus on the words more closely. If one of your pupils didn't do it in a good way or in the right way, so you can do it with him again and again, so that the word right and left, or sorry, the words right and left will be stick in his mind, and it will be something natural for him. This is concerning practice. Now, next step, introduce direction phrases. Okay, introduce direction phrase. In this phase, you are going to introduce the direction phrase. Okay, so introduce the following phrases: turn right and turn left at the first, at the second, at the third corner. Now here things will be more detailed. You are going to ask them, for example, turn right on the first corner, turn right on the second corner, turn. And you can do that with your class. I mean, you don't need to for example, to do it on a map on the board. No, you can just in your class, for example, you change the places. For example, you with the tables, you can make a map with the tables, and with the help of your pupils, you can make corners. Okay, so then you ask your pupils to use this table to turn right, turn left on in the corner, the first corner. So your class will be a map. That's it. Okay, your class will be a map, a practical map, so they can learn it in real, in reality. Okay, so I said you teach them some phrases: turn right, turn left. Then you can say go straight. Then you can say you will see it on the right, you will see it on the left, and so on. Okay. Okay. Also, you can give them the other one. It's across from. It's across from the school. It's across from the park. It's across from the post office. It's next. Okay. It's next to the police station, the playground, the library, etc. Now, what do? Explain. I said, explain the meaning of each phrase and lead some pronunciation practice exercise while you are sorry, while you are teaching them directions. At the same time, try to teach them how to pronounce them, so they are pronouncing and practicing at the same time. Okay, so this is concerning introduce phrase direction. Now the next one, which is another practice. You are going to ask me, but we have seen practice before. No, this is another practice. Okay, and always practice is the most important. So now mark your imaginary present location on a rough map, like the one from step one, in warming up, or in step one, and ask your students, how do I get to the, for example, school? Now what do? You call on another student to give just the first section of direction. He gives you just the first section, then another student for the second section, another one for, until you reach your destination. Have you understand what I mean here? So I said your class will be a map. Okay, now okay, you teach them, or you taught them how to pronounce, and taught them the phrase or direction phrases. Now what do? You point a location. Now you ask them to go to this, but with pronunciation. They give you the for example, if he turned right, he said, I'm turning right. If he turned left, he said, I'm turning left. If he's going straight, your pupil is going to pronounce it, to speak it. I'm going straight. Okay. So for one pupil, gives you the first section. Call for another, give you the second section. Call for the third, until they reach the pointed location. Okay. So next, what do? You repeat until your students feel comfortable enough with the new phrases to give a whole set of direction on their own. Now next, what do? Mark a beginning position on the map. Now you can use the whiteboard as a map, and you can mark a beginning position on the map and give a set of direction. Ask your students, where am I? Okay, to see if they were able to follow along with you, and repeat. If necessary, go back to review anything that seems difficult for your student. Okay. Now the last, or before the last one, practice directions. Now here they are going to practice another practice. Okay. So after demonstrating the dialogue, okay, you can give them a dialogue or a question and answer. Where is it located? It is turn to, so like this. Okay. Now I said, after demonstrating the dialogue, ask the students to work in pairs to practice giving directions. Okay, to practice giving direction. The model dialogue should resemble this. For example, student A, excuse me, how do I get to the school, or the bank, or the police station? B, turn left, turn right at the third corner. You will see it on your left. B, or sorry, the student A, thank you. B, you are welcome, and so on. Okay, and with this way, using dialogue, they will be able to learn and to master the use of directions. Okay. You can ask for volunteers to demonstrate their conversation, I mean play a role to the class. Overacting is always encouraged, okay? You can ask them to stand up and act this dialogue, okay? Now the next step, the last one, or before the last, sorry, before the last, um, production direction. I know it's too many activities or too much activities, but I'm giving all the activities that you need to make your lesson very interesting and very simple and very helpful for your students, so they can get the idea of directions, okay? So I said production, or the production of directions, okay? Now, for further practice, if appropriate for your students and school, create a maze of desk, okay? A maze of desk in your classroom, and have students give directions to blind folded classmates, okay? Having teams race in, you can, for example, you can give a blind someone of your pupils, and the other ones are going to give him directions, and he's going to, you can do that with maybe 3 or 4 students, or you can do it with even 10 of your pupils. Especially this is beneficial in the session of TD. You can do that, okay? You can blind your pupil, or you blind your students, and the other pupils are going to give him the directions. So for example, go right, he's going to go right, turn left. So that in this way you are going to make sure that he's going to understand, or they are going to understand what do we mean by directions, and what is directions, okay? So I said having teams race in generally discouraged in this situation, as it may lead to injuries. For example, sometimes we can do that outside, I mean the schoolyard. You can do that with your pupils, but sometimes schoolyards are not good, for maybe it will happen some injuries for your pupils. So you can do it just in class, especially in the TD session, okay? So generally, having friends guide each other through the maze has the most successful result. I mean, this game of blinding the pupil is very beneficial, okay? So this concerning production directions. Now let's go to the last one, which is review directions. Now you can ask for translation or demonstration of all associated vocabulary and phrases, as well as directions from one place to another. And also encourage your students to ask questions if something is unclear, okay? Start the next few classes off with vocabulary, okay? Now my advice to you, when teaching direction, it is incredibly important, okay, to choose one structure and to stick to it, so that your students do not become very confused, okay? The examples above that I give you, I mean blinded and the other games, uh, use the structure turn right, turn left in the first corner, the second corner, but you may choose to teach turn right, turn left onto for example, you give them name of street, onto, for example, Dad Ibrahim Street, onto Ben Aknu Street, etc., etc., okay? So then go like this, okay, in this way. This is concerning review, and this is my advice for you. Now what should I say at the last? If you enjoy this video, if you enjoy this lesson, so please help spread it by sharing it, clicking on one of those sharing button. You've got sharing, you've got like, and you've got subscribe, okay? And if you are interested in more videos, you need just to subscribe to my channel, and I will be grateful to help you, my dear teachers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you for being watching with me. See you in another lesson, inshallah.